Good morning. The Audible is on the air. The Dolphins are just wrapping up practice here. It's a Wednesday morning. The Dolphins come out after a day off yesterday, put the shoulder pads on, come out here, get a little action, get a little hitting out here on the practice field. Going to hopefully have Reshad Jones going to sit by and join us here a little bit. Some of the news out of training camp today. Reshad Jones did come off the non-football injury list. He was in pads today, practiced for the first time, so we'll get his thoughts on being on the practice field for the first time after the injury last year, coming back from the shoulder surgery early in training camp, had an injury, a calf injury that kept him out early on, but had the opportunity to get on the field, so we'll see how he felt out there. Also today, I'm calling them veteran days out here. It was a veteran day for Ndamukong Suh as well as Cam Wake, as neither one of those players dressed up. Cam Wake saw him kind of rolling around the field on the golf cart, checking things out, and Ndamukong Suh standing around watching the defensive players, and I think you can expect to see that throughout this training camp from Adam Gase throughout as he gives these veterans an opportunity to recover a little bit, not work them too much, however, give them enough work where they're going to go out. And one thing I like about Adam Gase's training camp this year, I think he's committed this training camp to be a little more physical, to be a little tougher, and to make it a little tougher on these guys. You saw last week some battles out in the football field when they put the pads on, and I don't think that's something that's happenstance. I think they kind of want to get that kind of an attitude around this football team, and so it's already started. Some of the other news, Jay Ajayi still out with that concussion under the protocol. Not sure where he's at, not sure the degree of that concussion, so we'll keep an eye on that as this training camp progresses on. But so far, so good as far as the Dolphins were concerned. A couple of decent plays out there today that kind of caught your attention. Nate Allen versus Julius Thomas, a big tight end. Tight end looked like he had a step on Nate. Nate was able to come up and make a play, knock the ball out of his hands just outside the end zone to save a touchdown. And Storm Johnson had a nice run where he cut back, scored about a 20-yard touchdown run as he outran the defenders as he broke the perimeter on the outside. So some pretty good stuff seeing out there. Good opportunity to watch these guys working. And this is kind of the point in training camp. They've been out there for about a week now, getting into that second week, and you could see early on guys kind of getting a little tougher to stretch, a little tougher to get going. But once they got going, things certainly picked up throughout the morning practice. So it was a good session for the Miami Dolphins, and so far so good. Certainly from the injury front is what you've gotten that point in training camp now where you kind of hold your breath each and every day watching guys out there, especially when they go in pads, especially when they go in full pads for the injuries. Already suffered the ones I said earlier from Jay Ajayi, where he left practice last week with a head injury, going through that whole concussion protocol right now, and so we'll see how long that holds out and when he can come back. But for the most part, it's been a pretty safe camp for the Miami Dolphins, pretty injury-free for the Miami Dolphins, and I like what they're doing offensively. I like the pace they're going at. This team's getting a lot of work done and a lot of good work. And it'll be interesting to talk to some of these veterans as we move on through training camp and find out how it is having the same coordinator, having the same scheme defensive-wise, and all the different things. So joining us now, Reshad Jones. Reshad, man, how you doing, bud?
Doing all right.
Nice to see you back on the football field.
Feel good to be back.
You had a whole off season where you're rehabbing, getting that shoulder done, and halfway through the season last year, and then you come out and miss the first couple practices. That had to be a little bit aggravating for you.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
Lift this up for you.
Yeah, it was aggravating for me. I wanted to get out there with my teammates and get back and get my feet wet a little bit.
Yeah. So what was it like for you last year with the injury? You tried to fight through it. You tried to get it done. Just got to the point where you couldn't. So you missed the latter part of the season. And I know I saw you a number of times out there. Very frustrating for you. How tough was that for you to go through?
It was pretty tough, man, but it was kind of bittersweet, man, just to see my boys, get to the playoffs for the first time, and in 10 years or however long it's been, it felt good. But I definitely wanted to be out there with my teammates, my brothers fighting, what I mean, and do everything I could to help those guys win. But I was there throughout the whole process. I came to every game and supported, just like I was out there.
You've been around this football team for a long time now. You go in that DB room. You go in with those guys. Is the attitude different now than it's been in the past? Certainly coming from a team that's been to the playoffs. You got a lot of young guys had the opportunity to get a lot of experience out there last year. So you got a lot of depth and a lot of knowledge in that defensive back room. And then you get the guys that come in, Nate Allen. You get these guys that come in and bolster this team. What's that room like in the defensive backs?
I feel good, man. Like you said, man, we brought in guys like Nate Allen, veteran guy, who been around, played a lot of football in this league. We got to bring another guy in like TJ, who's a great safety, who would definitely help us down the stretch. I think it's the best it's been in a while, man. The camaraderie, the whole group, I feel it, the energy.
Yeah.
Like you said, a lot of these guys got, 2 years under their belt now in the same defense, so a lot of guys feel comfortable. So I'm looking towards big things for us this year.
Reshad, there's been a lot of talk about this defense and the numbers and the stats and how many yards given up versus run and all those things. Do those things mean anything to you when you go in that room and, hey, we need to get better, we need to do these things? And really, it's not stat-wise. Look, as a defensive player myself, the most important stat to me is points allowed. I mean, that ultimately is what you're going to be judged on, the number of points you give up. Do you think this team can get to the numbers where you want to be at this year with the group from front to back?
I think we can, man. We got the potential. We got all the talent here. I think we definitely can. The beauty about it is this is where it all starts at, right now in camp. Out here grinding with each other, getting comfortable with each other, knowing where each player supposed to be, gap recognition, and getting to the ball, man.
Yeah.
This where you cut those numbers down right now in camp.
Matt Burke talked about tightening this defense up a little bit. You looked at last year and some of the plays, some of the big plays that were given up, or really some of the breakdowns, seem to be discipline things. Guys, running around blocks, not taking good angles, those types of things. He talked about tightening that. Are you seeing that happening out in the football field as you guys work on this through this training camp?
Oh yeah, that's important. Like you say, we're doing a lot of drills. We say every day, every man to the ball.
Yeah.
We're doing different things like that, to tighten that gap a little bit.
So Reshad, what are you working on? What is your goal between now and the time the regular season starts? What do you want to improve on in your game as you get to game one?
Just pretty much my overall game, man. Yeah. But my main focus right now just to be consistent, be the same guy I've been for this team since I got here. Be what I'm supposed to be the leader back there, be the quarterback of the defense. Get everybody lined up, make short tackles. Just different things like that, man. I'm just working on my total game. I think I can improve in every aspect of my game and just be the leader back there.
Bring some veterans in. We talked about that in the safety position. How does that help you communication-wise? Guys that know they've been there, they've done it, and they know what it's all about.
It help a lot, man. When you got a veteran guy like TJ and Nate, who play a lot of ball in this league, where for as disguise purposes, where he know where I'm gonna be when I'm down, when I'm showing down, when he's showing down, or I'm showing up, showing high. Just working off each other. He feel comfortable, I feel comfortable, and like I say, just getting those reps with each other out here, man, it's huge.
Yeah, it seemed last year going into this training camp, there was a lot of questions in the secondary, certainly in the cornerback position. You bring in Xavier Howard as a draft pick. You go out and bring Byron Maxwell in a trade, and you're looking at some of the other guys' depth and everything. It went from last year where you came and look at the secondary and go, man, it's a kind of thin back there. Now you look around and go, man, there's a lot of depth, a lot of good players, especially in the cornerback position as well as in the safety spot. You got a lot of guys out there competing, and that's not going to do anything but make everybody in those rooms that much better.
Oh yeah, 100%, man. Because like we know, man, it's a tough league to play in. 16 games plus, you never know. So having depth in this league is big, it's huge, man. That's the beauty in this league, man. So when unfortunately one guy go down, this guy can step up and fill that void like it's never been left.
Got to turn that phone off. I got the girls calling me all the time. I got to shut it off. They don't know I'm working right now. Hey, brother, you've been working, man. You got those guns, man. What'd you do to those guns, man?
Just been working out, man.
Holy man, you look like a defense. You got a linebacker, defensive end with those guns out there.
I just been training,
those turn from guns to pythons right now, man.
Been working hard, man. Working hard, man.
You've been having a lot of time to get ready and get healthy, and I know you didn't waste any time not doing anything, but I know as hard as you worked to recover, as hard as you did on the rehab. And how was that rehab? Look, I had a rotator cuff. I had the same type of thing. It was a tough rehab, and I know it was tough for you. How was that process?
It was a long process, man.
Slow to start, right?
Very slow. Rehabbing every day where you having somebody move your arm, lift your arm, and it's just a shoulder surgery is the worst, man. But gotta give glory to God that that I made it through. I got through that process, and I'm pretty much healthy right now, and I'm ready to go.
Well, what point after the surgery did you go, hey, you know what? I'm gonna forget about it. I'm just gonna do what I need to do, and I'm not gonna let this thing dictate how I'm gonna play, how I'm gonna rehab, how I'm gonna get myself ready for this season.
Right after I woke up, man. I'm a guy that live like I feel everything happened for a reason. It was a reason why it happened. I got my shoulder fixed. It's better than ever. Now I can go play another 8 years in this league, man, and play at a high level.
Hey, this team, you talked about it. You watched this team come out last year and get on a run in the after the first 5 games, 6 games, win 10 games, get to the playoffs. I know it was tough watching that, but when you go back, does this football team come back into this building as a playoff team, starting at that level and say, hey, let's count that as our base we've got higher sights set for this football team.
Oh yeah, I think we all know there's much more out there for us. I think that's a good starting point for what we were from the things we did last year. We can build off that. But the good thing about it and the beauty in this league, like we have around this our building, 0-0. You know, everybody's starting fresh. All the good things that we did last year, all the bad things that we did last year, it's out the window. It don't matter now. We got to come out here, put the work in, and be ready to go farther than we did last year.
You've been in the meeting rooms with the new defensive coordinator Matt Burke now for a while. What do you see in Matt? What do you like about what you see in Matt?
He's a smart guy, man, and he teaches us. It's not about just giving us a call. He teaches us the why. He always put up the why he calling different calls in different situations. He wants us to understand, as a coaching standpoint, why he feels this call should work on 3rd and short, or why he feels this call should work on 1st and 10. He kind of teaches us instead of just giving us a call, so I kind of like that.
Been a lot of talk about the linebackers. You go out and get Lawrence Timmons. You go out and bring McMillan in, from Ohio State, and you can look at got a nice little group up there in front of you. How's it been working with those guys?
It's been great, man. We got veteran guys like Lawrence Timmons. I feel like he's been one of the better linebackers in this league for a long time. Play a lot of ball. He flies around like he's year 2, like he's a rookie out here, man. And we can build off his energy. I think he's a guy who'll come in and he's going to help us right away. From
where I sit looking at it, I look at Timmons, I look at McMillan, and they both seem to bring a presence to that defense. They're there. Is that the impact you're seeing?
Oh yeah, 100%,
also?
Man. Like I say, LT, he's a Super Bowl champion, world champion, so he know what it looks like. He know how to get it done. So that's one guy, for a linebacker standpoint, or even just the total defense. I think that's a guy that guys should look at it and part of the game.
What do you see of Raekwon, a guy that's coming? Look, he at Ohio State, he played in a lot of big games, a lot of big stages, a lot of big situations, a lot of big plays. So he's prepared for this, the intensity of this game. What do you see out of him?
I definitely think he is. He's poised. You can tell he acts like a veteran out here. He's seen like he's seen a lot of ball. He's very poised. He get everybody lined up. A smart guy. I think he can be a leader down the stretch.
You get a chance to look at this offense, and while the receiving core looks like they're taking off from where they left it when the season ended, and looking for good things out of those. Offensive line seems to be coming around. You got 3 good running backs back there. Have you been around an offense on this football team like you're seeing right now out of these guys?
No, these guys looking good right now, man. And Mike Pouncey will be back soon, who's the leader of that offense. Like I said, the receivers that I seen them put in work all spring and all summer. They've been working together. So like you say, man, it's like it looked like they left off from what picked up from where they left off at.
Yeah, I was talking to Dave Paloka, the strength and conditioning coach. He said he had plans for, had the goals and plans for everybody to come in when the off-season conditioning program. Said he came in there, was in such good shape, he had to elevate the plans because you guys kind of overshot him as soon as you walked in the door. And to me, it tells a lot about the commitment of these guys and how important it is for you guys as a group to get this football team and take it to that next level. But you got to put the work in. It certainly seems like everybody out here has done that.
Oh yeah, it's our job, man. This is what we do. This is how we earn a living. So I think you got to do everything it takes, to be ready to come in the season. It don't just start the first day of camp. It's basically year-round training to get yourself prepared and ready for a long season.
And one of the things they've been doing in the off-season, you had Edison High School, the home of Nat Moore, and Deerfield Beach come out, high school come out. So you have high schools coming out. What do you think when you see these guys? I know I look at them and go, man, if I was in high school walking around here, that'd be a pretty cool experience. What do you think when you see these guys coming out and the opportunity to talk to players, to kind of mingle a little bit and just get a feel for what
I think it's cool, man. I think we motivate them, man. When I was in high school, if I can come to an NFL practice and see, guys where I think all these guys are trying to get to where we are. So, I think it's pretty cool, man, just to give those guys hope, just to see what practice look like, what guys look like, how the work ethic we really put in, and show them that it's not just all play. It's about putting the work in, and it's about business on this level.
I see a lot of guys coming up to some of these guys, putting their arm around, talking to them a little bit, and giving them some knowledge just about the game and everything. That's got to be invaluable for these high school kids.
Oh yeah, 100%, man. I see the smile on their faces. They seem pretty happy and it's pretty cool experience for them.
You may have the biggest smile I saw on your face today when you had the chance to get on the football field, man. It's been a long time.
It's been a while, man, to put the pass on.
It's great to see you back, and I saw you around. I know how tough it was for you last year not to be out here, and to see you out here now. I'm happy for you. Looking for good things out of you, and looking for you to stay healthy, and looking for good things out of this football team. You've been through some tough times, and now's the time to start reaping the rewards of all the work that you guys have all put into this program.
Yeah, it is, man. I appreciate you.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks for stopping by. All right, Reshad. Good to
Appreciate
stay
it for
healthy
having
and keep pushing things around.
Okay,
Reshad Jones letting us know exactly what's going on out on the football field. Let's go ahead and take some questions here. Freddie Tank Flores, how's the team looking right now? You know, it's tough to say. You know, you see some good things, you see some bad things. I think the one thing I'm looking at with this football team is the guys that you're expecting to do good things and to look good are looking good. And Ndamukong Suh's looking good. Kiko Alonso playing out in space in the weak side linebacker position. I think it's a good spot for him. He's able to go out there and make some plays. And he's one of those guys that the ball seems to find him, or he's around the football, whichever way you want to talk about it. He's always around the football. That's a good thing. Raekwon McMillan, as we talked about with Reshad, he's kind of fit right into the mold of stepping in with these guys, where he's able to come on, you know, and make some calls and take charge of that defense. Last time I saw a rookie with that kind of presence on the defense be able to step in day one, make the calls, do all those types of things, was when John Offerdahl came in, and John Offerdahl turned out to be a pretty good linebacker for the Miami Dolphins. If Raekwon McMillan can be half the guy that we saw out of John Offerdahl, it'll be a good thing. But I think the team's looking good right now. As I said, I got Nat Moore coming on. Seen Nat floating around here. I got to get my man on here and see what's going on. So, Bo Denise, well, as Nat's coming in with this, hey, Bo, the majority of the receiving core returning, the addition of Julius Thomas and Fasano, do you think we can finally get the screen game going? Now, let me see, Nat. Now, you're a receiver. I'm saying we got Kenny Stills running a deep ball. Devontae Parker looking like everyone's expected Devontae Parker look like coming into this year and really maturing as a receiver. We all know what Jarvis Landry can do. You get Julius Thomas to kind of clear the middle out a little bit, and my man wants to know if we can throw a screen pass.
Well, every now and then you want to be able to control the ball.
Yeah.
And a screen pass is a good way to get you, say, 4 or 5 yards, you know. So I ain't mad at him, but if I'm Kenny Stills, throw me the ball.
Yeah. Look, if I'm worried about screen passes, I'm saying we ain't got very good wide receivers, bro.
And,
well, I don't think that's the case with this group.
No, we got great receivers. I mean, the competition at wide receiver, Bo, is the best I've seen in quite some time.
Yeah.
And there's going to be some great players that don't make this team.
Yeah.
I mean, the ability of what Chris Greer and Mike Tannenbaum and Adam Gase have done as far as bringing in more talent, more competition, even to the point that on Monday when they were hitting, you know, I mean, the only way you can find out who can play is turn them loose. And, you know, that's what they're doing. So when I look at the receiver core, you've got so much talent that a lot of guys are going to get pink slips on the last cut.
You look at this
that can
offense.
play at this level.
You look at this offense, Nat, and since Ryan Tannehill's been here, like you talk about that receiving core, and the other thing is, in the receiving core, they complement each other.
Right.
They you know, they're guys. They'll run routes just to drag people away from the other guys. You know, they'll do, instead of just, hey, look, the ball's not coming to me, I'm gonna load my way. No, they run routes like they mean it. They got 3 running backs that they can interchange, that each do different things and each have different strengths. Offensive line is looking good. Have you been around in the last decade or so? You feel like this is the best offense that we've seen around this football team for quite some time?
Well, and I think it all starts with number 17.
Yep.
You know, number 17 is playing at an all-time high. Until he got hurt last year, he was one of the more efficient quarterbacks in the league. And I have to give Adam a lot of credit with him taking advantage of Ryan's skill set instead of continually asking him to do things that maybe wasn't his strong suit. He could do it, but it wasn't a strong suit. So I think when you look at this team overall, the talent that's on this team offensively, and if you remember last year, the first thing they did, especially with Adam Gase being an OC, is fix the offense. Well, they've done that. And this year, now they've turned around, and the draft was pretty much all defense. And I think it's going to pay dividends.
So kind of moving on to Ryan Tannehill a little bit. Here's a guy who's been through different coordinators, different schemes, different terminology, all these things. Now he's finally got a second year, same offense, same terminology, basically the same players out there, a coach that believes in him, all those things, a team that believes in him, an offense that believes in him. The question being, how far can Ryan take this football team?
Well, I think it's all about leadership, and the difference is, and unlike previous years, Ryan now feels this is his football team. You know, he is taking that leadership role. He's the guy that's in control out there. He you know, I mean, if he needs to talk to a receiver, get on the receiver, he's willing to do that. Where before, he always, you know, waited for the coaches. You know, now players are coming to him, asking him, is this where you want me on this route? Am I doing this right? That's when you know the quarterback now is in charge, because everybody on the team respects him, and understands that he's the guy that's going to carry them to where they want to go.
A little old school, little Edison in
Oh yeah, the Red Raiders are here. You know, matter of fact, the Red Raiders are the.
Remember Nat Moore when he went to Edison High School?
Hey,
there you go.
Hey, he wasn't even born. But don't try and make me look bad, Bo, in front of my high school. You know,
you look bad.
You know, this is. I got all the Red Raiders here, and they're getting ready to go back to prominence. What's your name, man?
David Haywood.
What position?
Cornerback.
Cornerback.
Yes.
You like hitting people?
Yes.
Can you run?
Yes.
You got some speed?
Yes.
Hey, let me ask you.
No. He's a defensive back.
Yeah.
He's got speed.
Yeah,
he can run. He got skills. But he
why-
only knows to knock the ball down. He can't catch. That's why he's not a
got no
receiver.
hands?
I can catch.
Yeah.
Yes, I can.
You're an aggressor. You want to make the interception and take it back.
Yes, Coach.
Hey, you had a chance to come out here and watch practice. What did it mean for you guys, this football team, to come out and have the chance to watch practice, talk to some of the players? I know you got a tour of the locker room, everything. How was the experience?
It was a great experience. You know, looking up to these people. I mean, these are the best people in the game.
Yeah.
So looking up, I mean, it's an amazing experience. I mean, these are my role models right here. This is what I want to be in life.
You get a chance to watch how hard these guys work and see what it takes for them to get to where they're at right now. Do you take some of that back with you and say, if I want to be here, I've got to put the work in just like I've seen these guys do?
Yes, definitely.
And what was the key that I talked about?
Knowledge.
Knowledge, decision making. You know, okay. The way you get here.
Knowledge,
Decisions. Applying yourself every day in the classroom, and one day you can be one of those guys. They didn't get here without doing the same thing that you've got to do to get here. Remember that.
That's good.
You can't make the right decisions on the football field if you don't make the right decisions off the football field.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Let's stay in that path. Good seeing you, my man.
Good luck to you, man.
Nice
Hey,
having you guys out
make
here.
me proud now.
Hey, hold on. How you guys gonna be this year?
You're going to be good.
Yeah. You gonna take everyone down?
Yes, Coach.
All right. Good luck, man. Stay healthy.
All right.
Have a good year.
All right, buddy.
Nice to see. Nice to see the neighbor guys back.
Oh
in the town,
yeah,
huh?
man. I go over from time to time. We got a new coach, and Coach Johnson.
Yeah.
You know, he was part of that Carroll City team that was resurrected, went on to win the state championship, and now Coach Johnson's over at Edison and put his staff together. Got some young kids. They don't have a lot of players, but you know, he's a developer of talent. You know, and he's been an OC, offensive coordinator. He's been a defensive coordinator. So you know, I look for big things out of him.
It's been pretty neat to see the Dolphins reach out to the youth football, high school football, bring them out here. You've had girls football out here throughout the offseason, OTAs and stuff. Really nice for this franchise to reach out to the local high schools and the football family, the football world, if you will, and bring them here with open arms.
You know, we keep talking about that guy, Adam Gase.
Yep.
You know, this is a brainchild of Adam Gase where, you know what, let's help youth football. Let's help train these kids, make sure they understand if they have dreams and goals of how to get here, how hard these guys work. There's no shortcuts to getting here. And I applaud him and youth sports for all they do here in the South Florida market of opening those doors so that kids can learn and one day reach their goals and dreams.
Yeah, no doubt. Let's take a couple questions here. Frank Rodriguez, pretty good question here. Do you think Isaiah Ford will make the 53-man roster? He's got to get in the practice field first and get out there. And, you know, here's a guy that kind of came in with a little bit of an injury reputation. Here you are, and it kind of trails him a little bit. He got to find a way to get healthy quickly and get out on the football field and compete, because if not, the old saying, you can't make a club in the tub.
Well, Bo, the good part is now,
now
it's you know, the 90-man roster continues up until the final cut. So he's got time to get back and show what he can do. But, you know, being a rookie, you know, one of the strong suits is if you can come back and just show it a little bit, you got a chance of going to the practice squad where you got a chance to catch up.
Emery Hicks, any news on how Charles Harris looks in practice? I think Charles looks good. Same thing with Charles Harris. You know, you saw him in OTAs, getting that quick start, getting a quick but now that offensive lineman can get that punch on him. You know, now they can get that hand on him, and I think the thing that Charles Harris is, at least from what I've seen, he's got that quick step, he's got that ability, he's got to work on. It's a different game now with the hands, knocking hands down, doing all those types of things, using his leverage. And look, you got no better guy to look at than Cam Wake. And I know Cam Wake is working with him. He sought out Cam Wake, and so I think those two are really going to make a good tandem, helping each other in their game.
Yeah, and he also sought out Jason Taylor and spent some time with Jason, teaching him how to use his hands and et cetera. Here's the one thing that I do know. He's going to make our left tackle better as well, because he has such an explosive first step that all of a sudden Laremy Tunsil has to get back. and ironically, for a lot of teams this year, I expect to see that left tackle get called for movement because you're worried about a guy like that. I mean, think about how many calls that JT used to get. Okay, I mean, think about the calls that Cam Wake gets sometimes because they know that if he gets that first step, they can't block him.
Yep, no doubt about it. So yeah, it's nice to see he's looking well, but he's not the guy he was in OTA since they're in pads. But this to me is just another step. It's a building block. You're in here, you got to get that feel. John Grisham, you have faith in Drake and Damian to hold our running back position down. Look, I tell you what, Drake, I've done a couple things with him during the offseason. I look over him, I go, man, what the hell you been doing? He got big, strong, and as you expect guys to do from year one to year two. I expect big things out of him because he's got the speed, whether it's as a kick returner, whether it's a running back, a great option back there. And we also, Damian Williams, I mean, this guy, every time you put him in, he seems to do something good and help you win football games. I'm very, very happy with those three guys.
Well, free agent.
Yep.
Came in, made the squad. And no matter how many times you think you're going to cut him, he does so many intangibles.
Yep.
He's probably the best blocking back.
Yep.
He's that guy that when the game's on the line, you're down around the goal line, you want him in the game, even with Ajayi at times. Yep. So when you look at the complement of those three backs and then how Drake has sort of grown into that NFL body with that acceleration, the ability to take what is a 2-yard play and turn it into a 6-7-yard play because he has the ability to get outside. So when you look at all of that, and then the thing that I've really noticed this year, bro, they're doing more to work with Ajayi catching the football, making them a part of the passing game. Because at some point, the mismatch might not be those great receivers we got, or it might not be the tight end. It might be that weak, that back on a linebacker that can't run.
Well, look, we talked about the receiving core and then the quality of the three starters you got, and they're looking for that fourth guy, whether it's going to be Carew or Ford or whoever that guy turns out being. You added Julius Thomas out there, and there's going to be mismatches out there.
Oh, a lot of them.
Maybe in a tight end, maybe a running back, and I'm with you. I mean, look, for under Don Shula, how the halfback short option? I mean, the Dolphins made a living off of that.
Jimmy Kick, and you just go Tony Vigorito. I mean, you go about it,
You go on and on and on and on, and this looks like one of those running back groups. You throw that in there, you can put some trouble.
Think about this, bro. We just watched the Super Bowl.
Yep.
What was the biggest mismatch of that game for both teams? In the first half, it was Atlanta's running backs against the linebackers for New England. Well, then what did New England do in the second half? They start throwing to their backs and found the mismatch and won the game. So, when you've got speed like Drake and Ajayi and even Damian Williams, I mean, look at the balls he's caught and touchdowns he's scored for us over the 3 years he's been here. So, realistically, starting to incorporate them in the passing game as well is only going to help this offense.
No doubt. Angel Membilia, do you think Ajayi will put up the same numbers as he did last year? I don't know if he's going to put up the same numbers. I know he's going to be a valuable asset for this football team. We talked about the receivers, we talked about the tight end, but when push comes to shove, I know Adam Gase wants this to be a run-first football team to set everything up, and with a power guy like that, I think he can be as good, or look, he may not have 3 200-yard games, but I think he's going to be a more consistent, more solid runner from start to finish of the season if his health stays with him.
Yeah, if you think about it, he didn't play the first 4 or 5 ball games.
Right.
He wasn't even around for the first ball game. So when you look at his numbers and what he was able to accomplish was outstanding. Now, let's fast forward and think about you've got 3 backs that are going to be sharing time. If you go back and you look at the great backs, it's the fourth quarter. What did he do last year? Fourth quarter, he started breaking long runs. So when you start utilizing the trio of great backs, in the fourth quarter, he's going to be fresh, and you're going to see him break some tackles when the defense is tired and go to distance. So I expect him to have a big year.
I do too. Eric Fazzardo, last one. How has Lawrence Timmons looked so far in camp? I think he's as advertised.
And some.
Yes.
I mean, the first play of I wouldn't call it a scrimmage, but live contact. I mean, he came up and hey, it's Ajayi. Wait a minute, that's our star. I mean, he lowered the boom. Helmet pops off, Bo. And Ajayi bounces off and
Yep.
starts to run. He gets up and goes to make the tackle without the helmet.
Yep.
I mean, that's what you got to have,
Yep.
that intensity on defense.
Yep.
You know, that willingness to knock people around.
Yep.
And I think with the addition of him and Hayes,
Yep.
T.J. McDonald,
Yep.
Nate Allen,
Yep.
you're talking about a group of guys that are coming in here that, you know, where they come from, it's
Yep.
about lowering the boom.
Well, and you look at the thing about Lawrence Timmons, I like too. He comes from a group he's motivated with James Harrison, Ryan Shazier. He's been playing with good linebackers that are aggressive linebackers. He's an aggressive guy. He can bring that on with this guy. It's another one of those little intangibles that you get when you bring in a veteran that's got the experience and the skill that a guy like Lawrence Timmons has. And like you said, he certainly has shown it so far.
He's good in the pass drop. He can play anywhere in the linebacker core. I mean, inside, outside. I mean, you know, he's that leader that you need when you got a young group of linebackers.
I don't know how you did it, Nat. I don't know how I did it. It's damn hot out here, brother.
Well, you know,
go.
well, Bo, I'm gonna agree with you, but I also understand that we're old,
Well, that's it.
so it's supposed to be hot.
Yeah, it is. And it's hot. It's hot. It's hot. That's going to do it for the Audible today. For Nat Moore, Reshad Jones, I want to thank him for coming out. Thanks for sending your questions in. We'll be back again on Friday. Not sure when, early, right after practice. So find out. We'll have a player on here. We'll have some other people on here. So join us on Friday. Thanks for joining us now. We'll see you next time on the Audible. Take care.